So New Mutants comes out this week, and the director of New Mutants said how the movie's inspired by Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors, which happens to be one of my favorite horror movies. Definitely my favorite in the Nightmare on Elm Street series, so I figured why not do a movie review on it. So let's get to it. Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors was made in 1987 and is the third installment in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. It was written by Wes Craven and Bruce Wagner and was directed by Chuck Russell. It stars Heather Langenkamp as Nancy Thompson, Patricia Arquette as Kristen. We have a young Lawrence Fishburne and also the man himself, Robert Englund, as Freddy Krueger. So the plot of this movie is Kristen is attacked by Freddy. It looks like Freddy kind of cuts her in her dream. Her mom sends her to a mental institution, and they take it as a suicide attempt, even though it wasn't a suicide attempt. Pretty much this mental institution is a place for troubled kids, and they're all going through the same thing. They're all having nightmares of Freddy, and he's picking them off one by one. And what happens is we actually get the return of Nancy Thompson, who is the original final girl in the Nightmare on Elm Street series. She gets a job as an intern at the mental institution. Here, she really unites the kids and tries to get the kids to fight Freddy back and really discover their inner dream warriors and use their inner powers to unite and fight Freddy. There's so many things I love about this movie, but I think one of the main things that makes this movie so good is the cast. Having Nancy Thompson come back, I think really helps make this movie what it is. She made the original Nightmare on Elm Street why it was so good. So to have her to return to the franchise, this character, I think definitely she brings a fight to Freddy where she's more his equal, but she's definitely, is going to do everything in her power to stop him. So it's great to have her back. Kristen is awesome, played by Patricia Arquette. This might be one of her first acting roles. I'm not really sure when she started acting, but she's definitely really young in this movie, and she kills it. I think her character's awesome. She has this really cool power where she can pull people into her dreams. So a couple of times she's attacked by Freddy, she can pull people in, which is kind of cool. If you're getting attacked by Freddy, honestly, I would pull every single person I knew into the dream, but that's me. Also, some of the side characters are really good as well. Some of the kids, Kincaid is awesome. We got Tyrion, Joey. I really like the other cast members as well. Oh, also Freddy Krueger. He does an awesome job as usual, and yeah, this cast really to me, makes up why this movie's so good. Also, I think one thing that sets this movie apart is having Wes Craven involved. Having him as a writer in this movie, I think really made this movie made it better. So one of the cool part in this movie is the Dream Warriors. So Nancy helps the kids discover that they all have this inner power inside of them, and they can use that power to fight Freddy. That is one of the fun parts of the movie, is seeing all these kids discover what their power is. Kristen's able to do gymnastics. Kincaid has super strength. So kind of seeing the kids discover the power and then banding together to use those powers to fight Freddy. I think that was awesome, and it was a good twist. It sets it apart from the original Nightmare on Elm Street, because the original Nightmare on Elm Street was all about pulling Freddy into the real world to kill him, where this takes a different take. It's using your inner powers to fight him on his turf. Ultimately, Freddy Krueger is awesome in this movie. There's a lot of really cool scenes with him in here. One of my favorite scenes is when he becomes a giant snake. He kind of bursts through the floor and tries to eat one of the characters, and he's like this creepy giant snake. Nancy comes in, sees that the character is getting eaten, stabs him in the eye with a piece of glass. Freddy drops her, looks at Nancy, realizes that she's the kid from the first movie, and is like, you. And it was just a really, really cool scene. So I love that scene. Some of the other scenes that are really cool, there's a scene where one of the characters wants to be an actress. Freddy grabs that character, slams her head into the TV, and says, "Welcome to prime time, bitch." I don't know, it's just a ridiculous scene, but in the best possible way. I think one of my probably one of my favorite scenes is in the movie is going to be anytime the kids all band together and they fight Freddy at once. I love those scenes. So they're using all their individual powers to try to fight Freddy. I think that was awesome. And another honorable mention is Tyrion. She has a switchblade fight with Freddy. How awesome is that? And she has a mohawk. So I don't really have a lot of cons for this movie. I absolutely love this movie. It's one of my favorite horror movies, definitely of the 80s genre. But one of the biggest cons I would say is it left me wanting more. I was so invested in these characters that once I finished Dream Warriors, I wanted to watch the next one, and I wanted to see what happened. I was so hooked. And the next one, well, it's okay. It sucks compared to Dream Warriors. Dream Warriors definitely set the bar high, and the next one does not deliver. I think even the role of Kristen, Patricia Arquette did such a good job playing that character. The next movie, she's recast it. So that's just an example of it just is not that good. I don't think Wes Craven was involved in the next movie at all. So that's one, I would say my con of the movie is I wanted a true sequel to Dream Warriors, not a sequel doing its own thing. So that's going to be one of my cons. So if you've never seen Dream Warriors and you like Nightmare on Elm Street movies, I definitely highly recommend it. It's definitely my favorite of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. It's just awesome. And I think it's awesome that the director of New Mutants is inspired by Dream Warriors. And even looking at the trailer, you can see it. New Mutants, it's a bunch of kids stuck in a mental institution and they have powers. That's so similar to the storyline in Dream Warriors as far as the same similar thing. So I'm super excited for New Mutants. And yeah, if you end up watching the Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors, let me know what you think. Have you seen it before? Are you gonna watch it? If you do watch it, let me know what your thoughts are. And if you could have your own Dream Warrior power, what would it be? I think mine would be flying, although I'm scared of heights, so if I flew too high, I don't really know how that would work. But either way, thank you for watching, and yeah, have a good day.